Hello everyone, my name is Akirele Oluwashogo. I'm your Microsoft Excel trainer. Today I'll be teaching you how to use a function called DATEDIF in Excel. DATEDIF. DATEDIF is one of the HR functions in Excel that you can use to calculate how many years, months, and days that an employee has spent in a particular organization. You want to calculate how many years that your staff has spent in the organization. You can also use to calculate how many months or how many days they have spent in organization. And the last thing that you can use the data to do is to calculate their age in the date of birth so you can know their age. Okay, in this example I have the name of my employee, I have their department, their status, the hire date when we employ them. So I want to calculate how many years they've spent from the day we employ them till now, and if I want to know how many months they've spent or how many days they've spent in that organization. So I'm going to use that function called DATEDIF. That function is quite different from the other functions in Excel. So let's type equal symbol and type DATEDIF. You can see as I'm typing the function name, it's not coming out, unlike the other function that will have popped out. So in this case, you must type the function in full, DATEDIF, and you open the bracket yourself. You can see there's no argument coming out, so you must know the argument to supply to the DATEDIF yourself. And the first argument for the DATEDIF is the start date. The start date is the day they employ them, that's the hire date, which is 19 April 2003. I will click on it, comma. The next argument you need to supply to DATEDIF is the end date. The end date is today's date. I want to know from the day they employ them till now how many years they have spent. So I'm going to introduce a function called today to get the current date in Excel. I will type today. So I will open the function today. So this today function will give me today's date, and I will close the function, the bracket close for that function. So comma, the last argument is to indicate whether you want to calculate years, month, or days. So if you want to calculate years, so you are going to put years y in a double quotation mark, double quote, y, double quote. So double quote y, double quote mean that you want to know how many years from the day they employed them till now, which is the hire date and today. So you put y in a double quote because you want to know how many years. So you press enter. So it will show us, because I didn't close the last bracket, so click on yes. So you click on yes. So to show us that we employ 19 of April 2003, that person have spent 17 years from the day they employ him till now. So you double click on the edge to copy down the formula. So let's go and do for how many more the person have spent. So we know that you have spent 17 years. So I want to know how many months. So you type equal symbol, DATEDIF. So I told you must type the function in full, you open the bracket yourself, and you must understand the argument that you need to supply to DATEDIF. So the first argument is the start date. So I'll go and click the day we employ them, which is the hire date, comma. The second argument you need to supply is the end date, and our end date is today, from the day we employ them till now. So I'm going to introduce a function called today. So you type today to introduce that function called today. So you open the function and you close the bracket for today. That today function will give you the current date, which is 13 July 2020. So you press comma. So the last argument is to indicate whether you want years, month, or days. So if you are looking for to calculate the month, so you are going to put M in a double quotation mark. So M in a double quotation mark represents month. So what you are telling Excel is this, that you want to know how many months the person have spent from the day they employ him till today's. So you close the last bracket, or you can leave it, Excel will close it for you. So you press enter. So to show you that the person has spent 206 months in that organization, and the number of years he has spent is 17 years. So you can copy down the formula by placing your cursor on the autofill handle edge and double click on that edge. You can see. So the last one is to calculate how many days. Now we have know how many years they spent, I have know how many months. You can also calculate how many days they spent in that organization. So you type equal symbol, type dated if. I told you must type the function in full and you open the bracket yourself. The first argument is the start date, that when we employ the employee, comma. The second argument is the end date. So we are going to introduce today function, a function called today, to get the current date in Excel. So you open the function, so and close the bracket for that function. So I've supplied the second argument, which is the end date, comma. The last argument is to indicate whether you want to calculate years, months, or days. So we are now in this scenario, we are calculating days now. So we are going to put D, letter D, in double quotation mark. So it means that you want to know how many days the person have spent from the day they hire him to today's date. So you are going to close the last bracket and press enter. So you can see, so it will show that the person has spent 6,295 days. So you copy down the formulas. So that's how to use dated if functions in Excel to get years, months, and days. So it's one of the HR functions that you need to learn as an HR. Thank you for watching my video. My name is Akerele Oluwashogo.